Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're gonna see how I achieved this look right here, and I'm gonna show you a few simple tricks, and actually I'm going to explain you how and where is the right placement of eyeshadow. So keep on watching, the video is gonna be really interesting. Now, also this video is probably gonna be called, I haven't decided on the name yet, but it's probably gonna be called my favorite makeup products, because I have decided to film this video using my favorite makeup products and actually tell you exactly why they're my favorites, why I love them, and why do I use them so often. So let's start with the first thing, which is actually the foundation. A foundation that I've been using lately and I really love is this one right here from Delilah Cosmetics. This is the Time Frame Future Resist foundation. Now, I cannot honestly tell you enough about this. It is a beautiful foundation on the skin. I honestly love it. It's got good ingredients. First of all, Delilah Cosmetics is a British luxury brand. It's cruelty free, it's vegan friendly as well, and this particular foundation right here is got amazing ingredients inside and it looks like skin. It's hydrating and it's just the way it sits on the face after you apply it is just absolutely beautiful. I prefer to use a sponge with it, to be honest, a beauty blender. So I would typically apply it with my fingers first and then tap over it with the beauty blender, because when you apply foundation with your fingers you might leave some streaks behind, so just be careful with that if you're using your fingers to apply your foundation. For a more liquidy foundation I will use a brush, but for this one in particular I prefer to use it with a sponge. Also the foundation has SPF 20. Now I personally recommend you to still use an SPF under your foundation, especially if you're going out, because it will protect you much better. Usually the SPF in a foundation is measured on 1 ml, which is quite a lot, and no one is using 1 ml on their skin. So that's another reason why I recommend you to use SPF under your foundation. The only downside of this foundation is the color range. They have only 7 shades and it's quite difficult to find your perfect match, hence why I have 2 shades from the foundation, which I combine according to obviously how my skin looks during the week or the month, depends on if I've been in the sun or not. So moving on to the next thing, that will be one of my favorite blushers, which is this one right here. This is the Yves Saint Laurent blush and it's in a limited edition packaging. It's actually called the Street and I absolutely love this one. It's so pretty on the skin, so we're gonna use this one right here. Also, it comes as no surprise, the eyeshadow palette, which is this one from Melt Cosmetics, the Gemini palette. I love it. I cannot tell you enough about this, and I can't tell you enough about Melt Cosmetics. I love them. They're cruelty free, they're vegan friendly, they've got the Lipping Bunny, which is, that means they're certified cruelty free. Also, most of their eyeshadows, they do not contain any talc, they do not contain any parabens whatsoever. I've got 4 palettes from them, but this is by far my favorite one because I love green. I'm sure most of you know that I love green, I love mustardy tones, I love olive tones, and it's just, this is such a beautiful palette. Like, the color story of this. Next, what we've used is this illuminating foundation from Laura Geller. Now, this is a recent discovery. I've been using her brand for quite a long time, actually, more than 5 years. But this foundation right here, it's basically a baked formula because it's got some illuminating particles in it. But what this does is basically it gives you that glow. Even though you're wearing powder, it's not gonna be flat, because when you're wearing, even if it's translucent powder, sometimes the skin can look a little bit flat from actually being so matte from the powder. This one looks so beautiful, and being a foundation, it actually blends really well with your foundation underneath. Just don't go heavy hand with this, because otherwise it will look too much. So be mindful when you're applying this, but I highly recommend it. It's really pretty on the skin. It looks glowy. I mean, you can see it on my face, I'm sure. So I'm gonna talk throughout the video about this foundation in particular. What else have I used? One of my favorite bronzers ever. Now I love two bronzers. I love the MAC matte bronzer and this one from Marc Jacobs. This is the 104 Fantastic Bronzer. I actually love this one over the MAC. So those are my two so far. We don't know what's gonna happen in a few months, but so far the Marc Jacobs is my absolute fave, and this one in particular has been gifted to me by one of my best friends, which is another reason to love it even more. So I love the packaging, and I love that it smells of coconuts and some sort of coconut cream that I just love it. I can get so excited with makeup, by the way, in case you haven't noticed by now. Right, after that I have used also an eye pencil which I really love. This is the Wycon Intense eye pencil in shade dark brown. This is beautiful, and it blends very easy. You can smudge it, you can also build it up, especially if you're creating a smoky eye. It just looks really good, and it's super pigmented, easy to blend, and the price tag of this is amazing. I mean, it's like €3, which is 14 dirhams in our currency. And what else? Mascara. Better Than Love from Too Faced. Amazing. My number one. I have a top 4-5 of mascaras, which I'm gonna post really soon. Besides that, I have also used this one right here. This is a soap brow, but I made it myself. So I like to reuse boxes that I have, and basically this one right here is glycerin and glycerin soap mixed with pear soap, the green one, because I don't really like the smell of the other one, the yellowish one. I don't know why, but I don't like it. And this is a box from Benefit, so I just filled this up with soap. There's a video on this on my Instagram channel, which I'm gonna link right here, so just go and check it out if you need to know how to make your own soap brow. Also, I've used my favorite eyelash curler, which is this one right here from Shuemura. I also love the Kevin O'Quan one, so these are my two top most loved and favorite eyelash curlers, because they're super gentle and they curl really well your lashes. As a lipstick, I have used two of them. So I've used this one from Lipstick Queen for a nude lip. This is so pretty. This is their Peachy Nude Sinner. Beautiful lipstick. I love Lipstick Queen. They've got amazing color range in terms of lipstick, so I highly recommend them. I also paired that one with the Impala waterproof lip liner in shade number 214. Now Impala is a German company. I used to work for them as a makeup trainer, so just go and check them out. Their products, they're underrated because they've got amazing range. It's more on a consumer side, so not a professional makeup artist brand, although I still incorporate most of their products in even in my kit, because I do have quite a few eye pencils from them and lip liners, which brings us to the new most favorite, which is this one right here. So I've used the Impala lip liner in shade 204. This is a perfect dupe for one of my favorite ones from Provoke, the gel lip liner, which is amazing, but it's very hard to find, especially here in UAE. So I've used that one. paired with the Delilah red lipstick. This is in shade Flame and it's so beautiful. Like, I have also a top 5 actually red lipsticks. I've got a top for everything, but this is really beautiful. It's very comfortable to wear on the lips. It doesn't dry, it doesn't come out of the tube. It's not too much that you get on the applicator, and it lasts throughout the day, like I said, without drying. Besides this, a few other things, but again, you're gonna see that throughout the video. I don't want to make this intro too long, so please keep on watching to find out more about the products and about a few makeup techniques. Also, if you're new to my channel, please click on the subscribe button and the ring bell button so you can get notified. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, where I post every single day about makeup products and a lot of makeup tips and tricks, and also anyways, a lot of good stuff. So let's dive into today's video and see exactly how I achieved this look right here. I'm starting, of course, by prepping my skin with my two most favorite products, which are the Latte Creme Concentrate from Embryolisse and the MAC Stroke Cream. After that, I've used the Delilah foundation that I have been talking about at the beginning of the video, and although I love applying it with a beauty blender, I have also used a brush just to show you that there is also another way, and you can apply it with a brush for a more sheer coverage. For concealer, I'm using one of my favorites, which is the MAC 24 Hour Studio Fix Concealer. This is waterproof and very lightweight, and it applies beautiful under the eyes and on the eyelids as well. For my contour, I've used one of my favorite products because this is called a makeup favorites tutorial basically. This is the Floor Mark contour stick. It's in shade number 3, and as you see here, this melts into the skin. It's very beginners friendly, I would say, contour stick, because it's very sheer and it just leaves a subtle shadow behind. So if you struggle with blending your contour, this one is the perfect one for you. Now for the eyebrows, I'm gonna use the soap brows that I made myself, and if you wanna know how I made my own soap brows with less than $1, please head over to my Instagram and there's a highlight bubble with the whole process. I'm applying this on my eyebrows using a little bit of Fix Plus, and I'm gonna let it dry before I apply the color. For the eye makeup, this is a perfect technique if you want to make your eyes look bigger. Choose the lowest point of your lower lash line, as I'm doing here, and just start drawing tiny dots basically with the pencil. Choose the highest point of your upper eyelid and connect these two in a V shape all the way out as I'm doing. So I'm basically mapping the shape of my eye. What this is going to do is it's going to create the perfect base for our eyeshadows, and also is going to create an optical illusion that our eye extends and looks far bigger. Incline the pencil and intensify the color in the outer third, always looking straight in the mirror and then closing your eye to see where you need to add the color. After that, with a pencil brush, what I'm going to do is basically just blend the edges. So you're gonna see in a second on the upper eyelid that I am just pulling the color outwards from the edges. Do not put the brush in the center of the color, just on the edges. And as you can see, our eye already looks more elongated and much bigger than the other one. We're gonna do the same thing on the other eye, and now we can move on to the best part, which is the Gemini palette, which you can see how much I love. And anyway, we are starting with the upper crease and shade Luna, which is a beige tone.
just to blend out the edges of the pencil we've applied before. On the mobile eyelid, I'm going to use the shade Mochi, which is a mustardy green shade. I'm applying that all over the lid until the darker color, which we are setting now with the shade Cupcake from the palette. I'm not very concerned with the blending as this part comes next. So as you can see now, I'm doing exactly the same thing. I'm blending out the edges into the colors we've already applied. Now with the shade Leo, I am connecting the shade Mochi and Cupcake to create a nice gradient effect between the two. Again, with a clean blending brush, what I'm going over the edges with a very light pressure to make sure that all the colors are fusing together. Absolutely beautiful, and everything looks nice and diffused. And I'm very happy with the eyeshadow. Now I can apply color to my eyebrows because also the soap has dried and it's much easier to give definition to the eyebrows. After this, illuminating foundation, which is basically a baked powder from Laura Geller. I talked about this, you know I love it, one of my favorites again. And the bronzer from Marc Jacobs, I'm applying this on my cheeks and on my neckline, all over my forehead and a little bit on my nose, basically all over my face. A touch of blush from the Yves Saint Laurent. This is such a pretty color and you can see how fresh my face already looks from it. As a highlighter, I'm using the same palette I'm holding in my hand, which is the Glowgasm, yes, from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm curling my lashes with the Shu Emura eyelash curler, which is a must-have, as you know, before any mascara application, and I'm using the Better Than Love mascara in 2 coats on my eyelashes. Also, I'm gonna do 2 lip looks, which is first a nude lip. As you see here, I'm using an Impala lip liner in shade 214 with the lipstick from Lipstick Queen in shade Peachy Nude Sinner. So you can do this eye makeup look paired with a nude lip, as I've done here, or we can change this into the red lip, which is my favorite shade from Delilah Cosmetics. That's the shade Flame. So I'm applying first the lipstick and then I will define the edges with a lip liner, again from Impala, because all their lip liners are waterproof and they apply absolutely beautiful on the lips. So I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial and you've learned a few interesting things about makeup products and makeup techniques. And now I will leave you with some outtakes and bloopers because there's always a funny part behind every single video. And I like to share that with you. Until the next one, bye!
It's absolutely amazing for that. That was my pressure cooker. Let's wait now until it finishes because I am cooking at the same time of doing my makeup and doing 2-3 looks a day. Oh, done. Of their creative club. This comes as no surprise. The Gemini palette from Melt Cosmetics.